Well, it's summertime and many are heading out and planning holidays. But why are airline tickets so expensive right now? Well, what are the major contributing factors to these exorbitant price hikes, and how long will these high prices persist? Parmeshwar Bawa explains.
For more than 2 years, the main topic of conversation pretty much everywhere has been about the impact of COVID-19. Now that the worst of the pandemic seems to be over and people are traveling more freely again, another hot topic is on the tips of everyone's tongues: expensive plane tickets. Searches for a return economy class ticket between New Delhi and London in late June turn up prices as high as nearly 80,000 rupees. Pre-pandemic, this was around 55,000. Direct flights between New Delhi and New York in the tail end of June cost more than 1,55,000 rupees for economy. Now, if you're flying from Bengaluru to San Francisco, you will have to shell out at least 1,65,000 rupees for a return economy ticket that used to cost around 90,000 rupees pre-COVID. Now, there are several reasons for the higher fares, not all of which are within the control of the airlines. Carriers scaled down their networks during COVID. With fewer planes in the skies, there are fewer seats to meet the recovery in demand, which in turn has pushed up fares. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has exacerbated a steady rise in crude oil prices over the last 18 months. Jet fuel now represents as much as 38% of an average airline's costs, which used to be 27% in the years leading to 2019. For some budget airlines, it can be as high as 50%. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of pilots, flight attendants, and other aviation workers lost their jobs over the past couple of years. Now with travel picking up, the industry now finds itself unable to hire fast enough to allow for seamless operations at its pre-pandemic levels. There are also many workers who were let go of. They found other less volatile careers, and they're not really willing to come back to a cyclical industry. Carriers are cautious about bringing back all their ideal jets. Even though most countries have eased cross-border restrictions, this is because airlines want to turn to more fuel-efficient models like the A350s and 787 Dreamliners. The pinch is most acute in Asia, which was the slowest to ease restrictions, and as China, the biggest market in the region, remains essentially closed. Now, aviation is a capital-intensive industry with historically wafer-thin margins. COVID has made that operating climate even more challenging because globally airlines lost more than $200 billion in the 3 years to 2022. So elevated fares provide carriers with a path to recover from losses and return to the black. It's unclear how long these high prices will persist, even as many travelers seem willing to pay up. Higher ticket costs don't seem to be dissuading people from making trips now that many travel restrictions have eased.